Welcome to True Lines, the podcast where we explore the wit and wisdom of the great American author, Mark Twain. This is our third episode, and if you haven't listened to our previous episodes, we encourage you to check them out for more of Twain's insights and humor. In today's episode, we'll be discussing another 10 quotes from Twain, reflecting on their meanings and how they apply to our lives today. Let's dive in. Today, we begin with a quote that highlights the significance of choosing the right words and the impact they can have on communication. So, without further ado, let's dive into the first quote of this episode. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. In this quote, Mark Twain emphasizes the importance of choosing the right words and the significant impact they can have. He compares the difference between the almost right word and the right word to the difference between a lightning bug and lightning. This metaphor illustrates the vast gap between something that is close to being correct and something that is precisely accurate. Twain's quote serves as a reminder of the power of language and the responsibility we have as communicators to choose our words wisely. By selecting the right words, we can convey our ideas more effectively and make a more significant impact on our audience. In essence, this quote encourages us to be mindful of our language and strive for precision and clarity in our communication. Moving on to our next quote, Mark Twain shares his thoughts on the concept of death. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. In this quote, Twain offers a unique perspective on death by considering the time before our existence. He suggests that since we were dead 4 billions of years before we were born and did not experience any inconvenience, we should not fear death. Twain's viewpoint provides an interesting way to look at the fear of death, encouraging us to see it as a natural part of life. By considering the vast amount of time we were dead before we were alive, we can gain a sense of perspective on our own mortality, which may help alleviate some of the fear associated with death. Our next quote delves into the realm of truth and fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities, truth isn't. Mark Twain points out the fascinating difference between truth and fiction in this quote. He suggests that while fiction must adhere to the realm of possibilities, truth is not bound by the same constraints. As a result, truth can sometimes be stranger and more unbelievable than fiction. Twain's observation highlights the incredible nature of reality and the limitless potential it holds. It also serves as a reminder that we should be open to the unexpected and the seemingly improbable in our lives, as reality may surpass even our wildest imaginations. The next quote touches upon the subject of loyalty. Loyalty to country always. Loyalty to government when it deserves it. In this quote, Mark Twain distinguishes between loyalty to one's country and loyalty to one's government. He asserts that loyalty to one's country should always be maintained, while loyalty to the government should be given only when it is deserved. Twain's perspective encourages us to be discerning when it comes to our loyalties and to evaluate the actions and policies of our government critically. It is a reminder that loyalty should not be blind and that we have a responsibility to hold our leaders accountable when necessary. Moving on to our next quote, Mark Twain shares an endearing observation about the signs of a life well lived. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. In this quote, Twain offers a positive and heartwarming perspective on. In this quote, Mark Twain is suggesting that wrinkles, often seen as a sign of aging and something to be avoided, should instead be viewed as indicators of a life well lived, full of smiles and happiness. This perspective on wrinkles is a positive and uplifting way to view the inevitable process of aging. Twain is reminding us that, as we grow older, we should cherish and appreciate the moments of joy and laughter that have filled our lives, rather than worrying about the physical signs of aging. The quote encourages us to focus on the happiness we've experienced and the memories we've created, rather than dwelling on superficial aspects of our appearance. Moving on to our next quote, Twain offers an interesting perspective on the role of books in our lives. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. In this quote, Mark Twain highlights the power of books to transport us to other places, times, and worlds. Books can provide an escape from the everyday routine and allow us to experience new adventures and stories through the written word. Twain's quote is not meant to suggest that books are only for those who are unhappy with their lives. Instead, it emphasizes the ability of books to provide a temporary escape and a source of entertainment, relaxation, and personal growth for readers. Books can be a welcome distraction from the challenges of daily life, and they offer us the opportunity to explore new ideas, perspectives, and experiences. Next up, we have a quote that touches on the significance of relationships between men and women. What would man be without women? Scarce, sir, mighty scarce. This quote by Mark Twain is a humorous yet profound observation on the importance of the relationship between men and women. By stating that men would be scarce without women, Twain acknowledges the essential role that women play in the lives of men and society as a whole. Twain's quote emphasizes the interdependence of men and women and the value that each gender brings to the other. The quote also suggests that men should appreciate and respect the women in their lives, as they contribute to the richness and fullness of their experiences. In a light-hearted way, Twain reminds us of the importance of appreciating and valuing the people in our lives, regardless of their gender, and recognizing the unique contributions each individual makes to our existence. Our first quote for this episode touches on the balance between sanity and happiness. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. In this quote, Mark Twain suggests that maintaining complete sanity while pursuing happiness might be an impossible task. This statement can be interpreted in several ways, but it could be seen as an acknowledgement of the fact that life is full of uncertainties, challenges, and contradictions that might defy logic and reason. Twain's quote is a reminder that we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves if we struggle to maintain a perfect balance in life. Instead, we should embrace the complexities and ambiguities of our existence, understanding that a little bit of chaos and unpredictability can be part of what makes life interesting and fulfilling. Next, we have a quote that highlights the evolving perspective we have of our parents as we grow older. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. This humorous quote by Mark Twain demonstrates how our perception of our parents can change as we grow up and mature. When we are young, we might think that we know more than our parents, but as we get older and gain more life experience, we often come to appreciate their wisdom and understanding. Twain's quote serves as a reminder to be patient with our parents and appreciate the knowledge and guidance they can provide. It also encourages us to be humble and recognize that our perspective may change as we continue to learn and grow throughout our lives. Our next quote explores the importance of holding on to our dreams and aspirations. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. In this quote, Mark Twain emphasizes the value of maintaining our dreams, goals, and aspirations, even when faced with the harsh realities of life. Our illusions, or the idealized versions of ourselves and our lives, can be a powerful motivator, driving us to strive for personal growth and fulfillment. Twain's quote is a reminder that, even when faced with setbacks and disappointments, we should hold on to our dreams and aspirations. By doing so, we continue to live fully and passionately, rather than merely existing. Thank you for joining us for the third episode of True Lines. In our next episode, we'll continue to explore the wit and wisdom of Mark Twain, delving into more of his insightful and thought-provoking quotes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave us a review, so more people can discover our show. Until next time.